Good evening, everyone. Buck was on my side. He just jumped over right before I started the video. You ready? Where were you this morning? I didn't see you this morning. I didn't get to see him this morning because he must have showed up like late. He had me waiting for like 15-20 minutes for him. So I put the food in his bucket and I went inside. And sometimes he has a habit of showing up a half hour after I call him in the morning. So I was thinking in my head, I was like, I can't stay out there too long because then my husband's got to go to work. Right, Buck? Daddy's got to go to work. I can't stay out here too long waiting for you. Okay, I got his dinner. You got your dinner? I got his grapes and butternut squash in there. I put it in there so the bugs don't get to it, like the ants, the crawly bugs. The ones that fly I could probably get. What's that noise, Buck? Oh, I hear little kids outside playing, okay. A couple doors away from me, there's little kids playing outside. I thought an animal got hurt. I got nervous. But it's little kids. Oh, Buck, my hands got dirty from touching your lips. Buck is having his dinner. So I didn't even get to see Buck this morning, everyone. That's why I didn't post a video, because he did not show up. Which I knew he was there. He was around. You want to eat in your bucket? All right. He wants to eat in this bucket today. Let me put the rest of his goodies. Hold on, guys. Let me put the rest of his goodies. He wants to eat in his bucket. That's because he heard the screams of the little kids. And that's what got him a little spooked. So he wants to stay over here on this side, which is fine. Oh, don't fall. Okay. Here, big boy. Okay, everything is there. Bon appetit. Bon appetit, big boy. All right, Buck has his food. He's got his apples, grapes, and butternut squash, and corn, all in one bucket. So Buck has his big dinner all in one bucket. He wants to eat in his bucket because he heard noise. I heard little kids, but that must have spooked him. He doesn't want to stay on that side. Usually when Buck gets scared, he doesn't want to eat on that side. He wants to come straight here on this side. Because he knows over here on this side, these bushes, he knows they block him. But my neighbors can't see him even if he was on this side. So, but Buck wants to still stay hidden. He wants to know he's hidden. He's like, let me hide so nobody can see me. Yeah, so this morning, guys, I didn't post a video because he actually did not show up this morning. I kept calling. I didn't want to worry. I was going to make a post, but I didn't want to worry everyone to get worried, to be like, oh my God, he didn't come. He didn't show up. What happened? Which nothing happened. He just didn't show up this morning. I was calling him. I stood at the spot for 15 minutes. I know if I would have hung out here for a half hour, he would have showed up. It's just sometimes Buck takes a long time to come. And the only time I could wait for him would be on a Saturday, a Saturday morning or a Saturday, breakfast or dinner. That's when my husband's home from work. So, I could stay out here and wait for him for a long time. It doesn't bother me, Not that it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? I have the time to waste, to spend out here and wait for him. But during the weekdays when my husband has to go to work in the mornings, I can only stay out here for so long before he comes. Especially if he takes forever. But I knew I was going to see him in the evening. I was like, I know Buck already. He's going to show up for dinner. I know he's going to show up for dinner. I was like, he's not in rut, so it's not like he's looking for girls or anything. He didn't shed his antlers yet, the velvet, so he's still his mushy, lovey-dovey self. Which he is, even when he's in rut with me. Not with other people, but with me he is. But I knew he was close by. He was just taking his time to come to me this morning. But for dinner, Buck is always on time. For dinner, forget it. Buck is always on time for dinner. No matter what time I feed him, even if I want to give him a little bit of an early dinner, meaning 4 o'clock early, he comes on time. He'll be here waiting. I came out a little bit after 5 today. And he was waiting literally on my side. He was hanging out right there. And then he jumped over. And once I started recording, because I was going to get him jumping over and everything. But by the time I hit record, he already had jumped over. And he was already walking to me. So I was like, damn it, I didn't get it on video. But he was on my side today waiting for me. He's probably like, where is she? I want to see her. I didn't see her today. which honestly, me too. Like when I don't see him in the morning, if I don't see him in the morning, then by dinner time, I'm like, I get so excited to see him. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see Buck. I better see him. I hope he pops up. I hope he's there. Like I start thinking like that. But he's always here for dinner. Dinner, I never have to worry. Buck always pops up for dinner. Sometimes for breakfast, it could be tricky, where he'll show up a little late, or he won't show up if I call him too early, depending on what time it is. That's why I think I gotta start feeding him breakfast a little later. Like not too late, but a little bit, like, let's say a half hour before my husband goes to work, like that. Because my husband goes to work at like noon. He leaves the house, so I should start feeding Buck breakfast at like 10:30, like almost 11. Because I know then he should be here waiting if he doesn't find food in the bucket before that. Right, big boy? And then I could see you twice a day if I do it that way. Probably had a mosquito bite him. I think that's why he shook. But I don't see no mosquitoes bite him right now. Unless they're really, really little, and that's why I don't see. He has an itch, so it could be. And it's just me and Buck here at the spot. No little ones, not even the squirrels. Literally nobody's here. Nobody. Not a little one in sight. The birds came this morning, guys. While I was waiting, I was hanging out with 2 squirrels. They were fighting over corn. Meanwhile, there was so much corn on the floor for them, but they were fighting. And Bluey and his friends came. I didn't see Red. I actually didn't see Red, I feel like, today and yesterday. But this evening, it's just me and Buck. Just us 2. And it's beautiful out. Today's been a gorgeous day. Like it feels like somewhat like of a fall and spring mixed together. That's how I could explain the weather today. Like that. It's like a fall and spring mixed together. Like it's beautiful. It's been beautiful all day today. It's been gorgeous out. Which I'm happy because I like days like this. Because I know then Buck doesn't have to worry about so many bugs around him, bothering him. So thank God for that. When we have good weather, it's good. Because then at least, like I said, they get to leave the bugs will leave the animals alone when it's like not so buggy out, Buck has like a strong odor on him right now that I smell. It's kind of like a farmy type of smell, like when you're in a farm. Something similar to that smell. Similar. A little different, but similar. Good boy. You eating all your food? And I put ice in his water. Is this still floating? Oh no, melted already. Oh yeah, his water's nice and cold. Here. Move the grapes. Okay. Eat it. I moved his grapes because they were touching the wall, so I moved them to the middle where he could get them. Now he's eating his grapes. Yeah, the ice melted, but the water is nice and cold right now. So if he thinks water, but right now it's like cool outside, where I don't think his water is gonna get like hot the way it usually gets hot on warm days. Because today hasn't been warm all day. Like it was just beautiful. Like, that's how I could call today's weather beautiful. It's been in like probably like 71, 72 degrees, which is beautiful, It's not hot. And of course it's not cold. It's just gorgeous weather. This type of weather is the weather that I call park weather. I call it like a park day. Like I always tell my husband, I'm like, I can't wait till my son, not that I can't wait, I could wait actually. Like till my son gets like, big enough, like when he's like 1. I can't wait for him to turn 1 to start walking and talking, where I could take like long walks with him to the park and bring like a little snack with me for him and like a little like bottle of water for him or juice, whatever. Like, just to have fun like that with him. I can't wait. I'm like looking forward to watching my son grow, I'm looking forward to that. I just know eventually down the line in the future, I'm not going to see Buck no more, because then eventually down the line in the future, I'm going to be moving out of here when the time comes. I get sad about that, but then I'm like, I have to think about my son too. But that's why every day that I hang out with Buck, I'm grateful and thankful and blessed. I feel very blessed to be hanging out with a beautiful animal like this, and to know when I get like an old lady, I could turn around and just say like, I'm happy that once in my lifetime, I was best friends with a buck. Like, you know, I can't complain. I love my life. I love my families. I'm thankful for my families and for my son, and especially my husband. Because honestly, my husband, he puts a lot of effort into buying Buck the stuff that Buck needs, like food or whatever. Like, my husband's a big help in that. So, Buck, Daddy loves you. My husband spends like, I would say maybe a little bit over 100 on corn once every 3 to 4 months. And then every weekend, we buy his apples and all the goodies, you know, the peanuts, apples. But that's like between $30 to $35 on my shop and grocery budget list. So Buck is not a very expensive animal to keep up with. I think if it was more than one deer, yes. If it was more than one deer, like if I had 5 to 10 deers coming here, oh my God, I'll be honest with you all, I don't know if I would be feeding all the deers, like all the goodies that I give Buck. Like, yeah, I'll probably buy them apples, but I don't know if I would be sitting there slicing up like, you know, 10 apples a day in one shot to give to all the deers. I probably would cut them in like halves and just like throw them on the ground for the deers, and I would keep like just a water source for all of them, like a big water source. But, you know, imagine how many apples, if I had, let's say if I had 5 deers come up to me all in one shot every day, and I had to feed them the way I feed Buck. Oh, can you guys imagine how expensive that would be? That would be really expensive. Like, taking care of Buck, to me, is cheaper than feeding my dog. Like, my dog food costs a lot more than what we spend on Buck for his food. Like, my dog food is way more. Even the bags of like dog food, the hard food, compared to like one bag of corn, it's way more. So I could just imagine, like, you know, feed them more than one deer. Sometimes I think about that. I'm like, I think it's beautiful, the people that have like a whole bunch of deer friends that come up to them, like, you know, like 10 deers, 12 deers. I honestly, I would love to have that too. But then I think about like money wise, I'm like, wait a second, if I would have to spoil that many deers, you know, the way I spoil Buck, like, oh my God, that would be a budget right there. That would be like, you know, a lot. But that's why God bless the people that feed more than one deer, you know, and spoil more than one deer. God bless those people. That's amazing. I mean, even if I had 2 coming, like Buck and a doe, coming to me all the time, I would probably spoil that second deer too, for sure. She would be getting spoiled just like Buck. I would have the same foods for her waiting. But it's only Buck that comes to me all the time. So, just me and him. That's it. Once in a blue, a doe will pop up in this forest where Buck lives. Once in a blue. But then she leaves. I don't see her no more. Like, I would see her for like, maybe out of 2 weeks, like 4 times, 3 times. And then that's it. I don't see her no more. Like, she would just disappear. I just wouldn't see her. So I don't know if... Wow. That was a car down the road, guys. I'm sure you heard that too. Even Buck looked. Some car just screeched like that. It's okay, Buck. It's all right, baby. Wherever that is, it's on the road somewhere. It just sounded like somebody like braked really hard with their brakes. All right, everyone, I'm gonna get going because my father-in-law is watching my son. So, and my son, he's been fussy with the teething and stuff. That's why I don't like to leave him too long, because I feel like I'm the only one that knows how to calm him down if he gets really, really fussy. So I will be back tomorrow morning with another video. I hope everybody has a great evening and a good night. And me and Buck will be back tomorrow. All right, everyone. Ciao for now.